Hi friend, look, I have the remote. Yes, Greg's still going to help me a little bit, but we're trying to get to the point where I can do more myself. I'm Pat Sloan and this is Friday. I love Friday. This is my daily video, daily topics, July 31st. Okay, so I'll talk about the calendar for August in a bit, but let's do today's topic, which is the basics. So I'm really curious how you handle keeping basics on hand and what do you actually consider a basic? Are basics just solids for you? Are basics small prints? Do you actually have like a stash of polka dots and that's your basics, or stripes, that's your basics? Are they tonals, or are they very little pattern? I think today the greatest challenge, the greatest activity rather you can give yourself is to go through what you have, go through your fabric and look at what you have, and do you actually keep basics? Maybe you want to take a look at that. Maybe you want to keep basics, which brings us to Lenore's question, which I think is fabulous. She wanted to know, Lenore asked me, do you keep a stash of white background fabric? And if so, is it solid? And how much do you recommend keeping on hand? So this all rolls into the basics. Personally, I have a stash of, a collection of solid fabrics that I've bought over the years. They're all different colors. And I do have white, off-whites, creams. Greg's going to bring this one little tub over here. This is, take this down here. So here are one of 3 baskets that I have of lights. There's not a lot of solids, but there are some. Like here's a solid, there's a solid, 2 shades of solids. I've got something over here that's more solid, but this is what I consider a basic for me. This is the blossom that has a little pattern on it. I have got this one on the end that's creamy with polka dots. So there's a whole lot of things in here that are not actually solid fabric. So Greg's going to take that one away, and I'm going to just lift the camera up. I'm using a cast. It's nice and hard. I can push that up. So I do have some solids that are different colors. I do have a lot of polka dots. I like to have stripes on hand. Those are the things I consider more solid. So, more basics. So if I were going to, like for the solids, I probably have several yards, maybe 3-4 yards that I like to keep on hand. Anything that's a tonal that I might use in the future, 3-4 yards, because it takes a while. It takes a lot rather to do a bigger quilt of your background fabric. But I don't keep tons of that on hand because I don't really know what I'm going to sew with. I tend to, I had collected the colors of solids during a period when they were on a really great sale somewhere, so I got a whole bunch of them, but I didn't really need to, I've used them for years. Like you saw the orange, I had like tons of this orange that I used in the one quilt. I've used some teals and aquas lately. Those are the backgrounds. So that is how I've been collecting. Like stripes, I might get a yard. Polka dots, I might get 2 yards, because I just don't know how I'm going to use it, where I'm going to use it. Like up on the crush that I have, the red and white crush that's on my wall up there. See that one, the red and white? That has 2 sizes of polka dots. So I like to have something like that on hand. Okay, so your assignment today is go take a look at yours and see what's going on. All right, I have a blog post today, which I'll link below. And I remember I'm taping this the day before, at the blog post there are a couple different things. One will be our August calendar. So I don't have the sheet yet when I tape this to show it to you, but it'll be at the download. So you can download the August calendar. It also has the sew-alongs, and it has sort of topics for the day. I'm going to call them topics. Somebody suggested snippets. We'll see which ends up on the sheet. Okay, the other thing is our our morning mugs. There we go. I can get that. My right hand has a lot more strength than the left. The left still is kind of useless, but I'm working on it. So the morning mugs is our sewing for this week, and we're doing the middle. We're doing the middle 2 rows of mugs. So you did one end last week, and now you'll do this middle row. And I really like this fabric here. Let's see if I can bring that in. See the little, sort of like a little laundry. It's upside down to you, I think. But it says Monday is laundry day, and there's a little ironing board. It's so cute. So you're going to do 2 mugs. Now this, like I'll say again, this was a kit by Riley Blake. And, that's heavy. Okay, so this was a kit. And this pattern only came in the kit. But if you have the vintage Christmas book, if you have this vintage Christmas book, I just don't have strength, folks. There we go. There is a mug that's very similar. It's a little fancier. It has a star in it, but you could not do the star and do it as one solid fabric. It's a very similar mug. Also, the vintage Christmas book is the one where we are going to do, let me get the page open. We're going to do the Bring Home the Christmas Tree, and that's starting at the end of August. So you want to be sure you get this book and get your fabric organized. So we're going to make this. My friend Ann is making me a single car so that I can do it as a table runner. It's going to be red. Of course it's going to be red. Okay, so a couple things here that I am feeling that I can do a little bit of sewing soon. I'm going to try just sewing some squares, doing you know, like 2.5-inch squares, alternating red and white, because I already have this sort of use it up type of quilt in red and white. So the big thing with that is, how do I press? Now my friends have offered to come and press for me, but you know, and I love them for that, and I might still have them do that, but I really would just like to do it and sew and do it and sew, and not have to be stopping and waiting for somebody to drive to my house, you know, in a couple days and press all this stuff. So I looked around and to see what my options were, because in this hand I have much more strength and not much in this one yet. This is the one that's getting all the physical therapy every single day. 3 times a day. Okay, so what do I have? What do I have that could work to press? These awesome rollers, which I can definitely, you know, press the seam. They don't give you quite as crisp a seam, but it's very doable. And Greg wanted me to point out to you, and I'm going to show you this. Do you see there under the metal? Do you see under the metal that little ridge? What is that called, Greg? It's a bevel. He says the bevel is super important. Greg has used these particular rollers, for I don't know, years. And he said if you don't have that bevel, they do not work that well. So these are from the Fat Quarter Shop, these seam rollers, and they're awesome. So that is one that I could use. And the other thing that I went looking around to see what do I have, and this little mini iron is very light. So it is not heavy at all. And I've got like a silicone mat that I could put it on. So I could basically like pick it up and put it back, you know, put it on the fabric, put it back on the silicone mat. But I can easily just do that. It's super, super light. So I'm going to experiment with that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because I need to sew. And then on that, I wanted to show you this fabric that I've had come in that I just love. It is called Bloomington, and you can get it in the Jolly Bar. So if you want to make something from the Jolly Bar book, you could use that. This one is a layer cake, and there's still some yardage. I'm going to show you just a few. So you can see the big floral here, but it comes in other colors. Let me just get you a little bit closer there. I forgot to open this up, but it's got the black, which I really like, this black with white, and it also had it on tan. Let's see, there's some other, in this peach color, so you can just see all the basic colors that are in there. And there's the aqua with the white. And then there's some small prints. Get you a little bit closer. And you can see back here, I'll just show you a few of the prints. I like this medallion. There's a little bit of green in this line. See green, there's dots. Another sort of background, nice background fabric. And what we got back here? You roll it. Stripes, 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 and they're diagonal stripes, which are amazing to use. There's a real tonal one, which is kind of neat in that sort of raspberry color. So it has the two of those. So this Bloomington is a really nice fabric line. So if you're looking for something, and I think it has a wee bit of a fall feel to it. It's not, whew, that is stiff to pull up. There we go. So it has a little bit of a fall look with the black in there. So I got that's all linked below. So everything is linked below that I talked about. And I'm thinking of taking the Solaris here, my foot's not broken, so I can do the foot pedal. I can push fabric through like this. I just need to have Greg take off the walking foot because I'm not sure I can get the screws undone. And I am going to do a little bit of sewing and make some 9 patches and just see how that goes, because all of this has to be moving all the time. That is my doctor's order. So happy Friday, and I'm excited for our August topics. Be sure to download the calendar. I will see you online, my friend. I love you, and thank you for sewing with me every single day. Mwah.